Hi everyone, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever or whatever time you're watching this. Thank you for making the effort to better yourself in the customer success place. And I know very well you're not going to regret it at any point because this is a very lucrative career path for anyone that is here to stay long term, right? It is a lucrative one for anyone that wants to stay long term, especially now where the major differentiator for businesses is how they treat customers, right? So it's no longer uh, there's no monopoly like I used to say, and there's no way a company will say, oh, this is the product you're building. Another person, another developer can actually build that exact template, right? We're seeing that every day. But what they cannot replicate is service or services, experiences, relationships, and all that, right? So we are in this for the long term. And what I want to discuss with you today is so vital and important to what you become as a customer success manager. Yes, it is so important. So I hope you get this because if you are able to get this right now, you are set for life in this space, right? Everything you do in the customer success space revolves around this, right? It revolves around this. And remember, you can follow me on LinkedIn, on IG, and on TikTok. And of course, I'm getting to X very soon. It's just a whole lot to navigate at the moment. So I'm taking my time. All right, so let's get into what we have for today. So today we are talking about customer success focused journey mapping. And I said customer success because you can have sales focused journey mapping. You can have marketing focused journey mapping. But what we are discussing in this session is customer success focused journey mapping, right? You know that as we go on why I said that. All right. Okay, so let's move further. I want to ask you a question right now. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had an experience or had a great product experience, but felt completely ignored after you signed up? Was there ever a time? That is what happens when businesses don't map their journey, their customers' journey. And the product might be amazing, but the experience, as much as people want value, they want the experience that come with it to be superb, to be seamless, right? So once you have that kind of experience, it can be confusing to you as a customer. It can be like it's just inconsistent and forgettable. All right, let me show you what I mean. This is what a customer journey without a map looks like. They don't know what is next, you don't know what to do, where to start, just anything goes right. You don't want that for yourself or your customers. So let us set the tune for today's session. We just did an icebreaker. I'm going to show you what core functions of a CSM means or is or are. Is actually are. Then we go straight into journey mapping. What should you know? What should you do and all? All right, so let's dive in. What are the core functions of a CSM? I'm supposed to show you something before then. So let's just gently go. All right. All right. So why? So why, or before I even go to why, let's start with what is the customer journey map? Customer journey mapping, what is that? And if you want to do that, how do you do that? And why should you even do that? And what should it entail? All right, so a customer journey map is simply a step-by-step visual of what your customers go through from the first time they hear about your product to becoming a paying customer and even becoming an advocate for your product or for your business. So whenever you're looking at a journey map or whenever you're thinking about mapping out a journey map for your customers, it should answer core questions like what are they thinking at every stage? That means your customers, what are they thinking about when they come to their onboarding, when they come to like maybe sign up on your app, what are they thinking about when they try to do something on your product or in your in-app, what should they be thinking about, right? The next thing your customer journey map should answer is what are they feeling, right? Like I told you earlier, it's not about just value for us as customers, right? You need to also understand the experience. And that is what I mean by saying, what are they feeling at every stage? And also, what are they trying to achieve? The value they want to get. What do they want to achieve? If I am downloading an what's it called now? If I'm downloading a bank app, what do I want to achieve, right? I want to be able to send money. I want to be able to receive money instantly, no delay, no English in between, no delay, no or nothing, right? So what are they trying to achieve? So at the back of your mind, when you are creating, curating, or developing your customer journey map, you should have these questions. And the last question you should ask or your journey map should answer is where do they get stuck, right? Where are the various touch points and what are the possible challenges, problems that may occur, issues that will stop them from transacting or going ahead on their journey. So those are the 4 questions your customer journey map should answer. Hope you're getting value already. Hope you have your pen and your paper. You need to jot this down because this is not just, excuse me, this is not just for now. You are always going to refresh and go back to this, right? It will help you to curate the best experience for your customers. All right. So get a pen and a paper. So let me ask you a question. Of your current, how many of do you currently have a customer journey map for your business, for your company? Do you have? You can just show your hand. I probably won't see it. Or you can just make a comment and it will get to me. Or you can just write about this and just let me know on LinkedIn, Instagram, or TikTok. Let me know if you have a journey map currently, a clear one, not just, oh, that, right? So if you don't know how, why don't you have? What is stopping you? So you can also write to me on LinkedIn why you don't have and what is stopping you, and let's tackle that together. So before we go to what it will cost you not to, if you don't have a customer journey map, let's go into a brief history. So journey map was first called moment of truth or moment mapping, right? It was an employee. He was working with an airline and they wanted to know how the customers interact with the employees and how they can make it great, right? So that was in 1981, and his name is Jan Carlson. Jan Carlson was an employee and he was trying to just understand the end-to-end experience of the customers and how he can empower their employees to be able to give maximum value to their customers. And that is why he came up with this, right? So it was later now called journey map or customer journey mapping because it just looks at the end-to-end experience of the customer, not just one end, but everything a customer goes through when he or she is with an organization. All right. So according to him, he defined it as how the customers interact and things they do with the organization. How do they interact with the organization and with the people, right? The internal customers, and what are the things they do, why they are there, right? The things they do can be, oh, they need to download your app, they need to sign up, they need to do KYC, right? So those are the things they do. All right, let's move further. Hope this is already giving you value. What will it cost you if you don't have a customer journey map? The thing is, failing to map your customer journey is not just a missed opportunity, like I will say, it will cost you money and cause you to lose customers. The first thing is when customers come to your platform or your product, they are confused. They don't know what to do. They don't know what steps to do. Now that I've downloaded your app, what should I do? Customers do not know, right? And the second thing that will happen is team misalignment. And this is huge. I've seen this happen severally. When sales are saying one thing, then onboarding is doing another thing, or the CSM are doing another thing. The marketing, the messaging is different. The sales are promising heaven on earth, and now the CSM are confused, like, okay, what's going on here? That's because there's no clear journey map for everyone. And that's why I usually will advise, don't let it not be in silos. When you're developing a customer's journey map, let it not just be, yeah, you can start with developing for just your department, the customer success department, right? But then you can just make it on a large scale. Let the marketing people be involved. Let the salespeople involved. So everybody is seeing the pictorial effect of how the ripple effect that will happen if one thing misses. So if marketing put out the wrong, let's say they're supposed to say $1,000 as gift, and they now said 10,000. Customers are expecting 10,000 naira or dollars as gifts, which is a lie, right? So it's going to have ripple effect on sales and on customer success, and of course on the entire organization. So we don't want that to happen. So you need to, when developing or mapping out or curating your customer journey map, have everyone sell it to everyone, right? So everybody can just see what is going on, who owns what should be done, what shouldn't be done, right? So what are the other things it will cost you if you don't map out customer journey? So you're going to lose out on upsell and renewal opportunities because you don't even know where they are. Because no one is monitoring the right signals. You don't know where your customers are. Everybody is just trying to survive. And that way, you're losing upsell. But if you have a clear-cut structure in place, when once they buy twice, you are able to upsell to them. You are also able to like start pursuing renewal opportunities, right? You know that at this point, okay, they arrive for renewal, they arrive for cross-selling, they arrive for expansion, right? Yes. So that is why it's so important for you to curate, map out, depending on the word you want to use, or develop a customer journey map for your company, for your business, and for your team, right? And the last I'll say about this is if you don't map it out, customers are going to churn. Customers are going to go silent on you if you don't map out customers' journey. And churn is simply when customers stop doing business with you. And in this case, they stop doing business with you because they are confused, because they don't know what to do, because they are getting mixed signals, because one sales told them one thing, the customer success is now telling them another thing, right? So the customers are definitely going to churn, right? Let me tell you a quick story. Years ago, I worked with a fintech company that kept losing customers after onboarding. We will have referral programs, referral and loyalty programs. Customers will come in, will spend a lot of money, and we kept losing customers immediately after onboarding. We assumed it was a product related problem, right? Because, I mean, why are they, at least they're inside and maybe they're not getting the kind of value they wanted. But once we mapped the journey, that's our customer journey map. Once we did that, we saw that customers were not just being guided after setup. They were not just, immediately after onboarding. We're supposed to have maybe a walkthrough video aside the welcome message or email, depending on what you do in your organization. So we don't have that. So they don't know what to do at any stage. So at that point for us, we're not doing proper welcoming for them, no welcome call, no any, usage nudge. So if you are working with a fintech, you probably know what I mean by usage nudge. So once a customer sign up on your platform, there are ways, subtle ways you can like, okay, this is the next thing to do. These are the things that are pending activities to be done to enjoy maximally with it, to enjoy or benefit from this product, right? So there are little things you just put them, maybe like the UI UX people, you can work with the UI UX people to like make sure that is there, like prompts. Okay, verify your account, you can deposit, you can set up notification, things like that. So we were not doing that. It wasn't on our app at all, and we were not checking in with these customers. That means they were signing up and falling off. You probably may be experiencing that in your organization, right? So a confused customer doesn't complain. Those that complain, they are a blessing. And as Bill Gates says, that your unhappy customers are your most that is the best place you get your best source of feedback, right? Your unhappy customer. But because some of us that are customers, we don't complain. We just move on. They just leave. Confused customers will not complain. They just like, what's my own business? They just leave that and move to the next, right? Absolutely. So why should you, as a customer success manager, map out your customer's journey? Why should you map out your customer's journey? Because you are the internal voice of your customers. Don't allow anybody to do otherwise or say otherwise. Yes, you are there for your business, representing your customers in front of representing your business, your office, your organization in front of your customers, but then you are also the internal voice of the customer. Customers cannot come inside and make decisions and say, oh, this is what is spinning, or this is what is bothering, or this is the kind of value we need. You are the one there. And that is why you as a CSM should wholly like be in charge of mapping out customers' journey. You need to also know where customers drop, or like the example I gave earlier, a true life story. How did we know that it was during after onboarding they were falling off, right? So you need to know where customers drop off. So you are the only one that knows that. So you can fix it before they leave. So for us, we were able to fix that. We're now doing checking in. We had like a bit of nudge here and there. Once you sign up and do verification, you see a prompt that, okay, this is where to deposit, this is where to withdraw, this is where to do this thing, this is where to check the signal for today, right? So you need to know when and where customers drop off. And the best person to know that is you as a CSM, right? And the last thing I'll say about why should a CSM or must a CSM map a customer journey map is you are in the best position to spot patterns. And that is why sometimes we as CSM, we don't know our value, because we are the ones that know what customers are saying. We are interfacing with customers daily. We know their pain points. We know the way they want things. We know the color that appeals to them. We know the kind of message that appeals to them and they respond to. So you are in the best position to spot patterns and recommend better experiences. So we can use tools like Miro, Miro, right? Chat. There's so many of them. Even Notion to create simple map. I don't mean you should create something massive. Yes, you can start small, but then you can do bigger. And sometimes you don't need to wait for permission to do that. Just on your own, try to just sketch out some things. You can create a journey map on your own and show your team what is missing. That's a plus for you already. Right? If they see the value that map is giving you, they will jump on it. They will jump on it. Whole client and sinker. Right? And how quickly, before we go into mapping out our journey map, what are the risks of not mapping? We've talked about this already. What are the risks? So the salespeople don't know when to hand over or how to hand over, leading to poor handover. There's no alignment, of course. When there's no alignment between sales and customer success, there will be poor handover. There won't be insight, right? Of course, poor engagement is going to happen. When there's poor engagement, you're not going to get real value, real insight. And that's why sometimes I say that NPS doesn't work. It's not because you're doing badly, but because the customers are not saying that. There's no prior engagement. Imagine you're just waking up from the blues and you're coming like, oh, Gloria, I want you to do this NPS survey for me. The answer I'll give you is just based on my mood, right? So, and there won't be ownership. That's the risk. There won't be ownership. So customer journey map helps you to like, okay, at this stage, this person owns it. At that stage, this person is the owner. So everybody know who, when they should come in, what to do, how to do, when to do it. So if you don't know where the customer is in their journey, how do you even know how to serve them best? That's a big question. How do you know when to serve them best? Right? All right. So, as I was saying earlier, so this, let me just quickly explain the core customer success functions. They are of course so numerous, depending on the industry you're in, depending on the organization. If you are working with a startup, they probably add marketing and sales for you. Yes. Some of us have done, I have done a bit of sales and also a bit of marketing. I was doing like go to market plans to make sure that we're getting the right leads, right? Right, yes. So depending on the organization, your core functions might differ, but then won't stray away so much from these core functions. And I am saying this here because in your journey map, these are the things you are going to do. So now I want you to start having questions at the back of your mind, like, oh, where should onboarding come in on my journey map? Where should relationship building come on my journey map? Where should customer advocacy come on my journey map? Retention, where should it come in? When, what stage should I start thinking about retaining customers? When should I talk about feedback analysis and all that? When should I be worried about churn, about churn, customer churning? Right? Customer churning, of course, I defined it earlier, customer leaving your product, your service, right? And it can be due to a variety of reasons. It can just be product misfit, it can be because of your own services to them, right? So a lot of things. And it can also be because of the customer. So three people are usually responsible for churning in an organization. One is the organization itself, maybe product offering and service offering may not be it for the customer, right? May not be solving customers' problem. Maybe also the customer success people, customer support people are not relating or doing enough to engage and understand the customer. That means personalization, or there's no education or other programs that will help the customer absorb and understand your product and get maximum value from it, right? So that's the second level. And the third level is, of course, the customer, all right? And you can't do anything about it. Let's say the customer's budget is 200,000 naira and your product is around 500. There's nothing you can do about that, right? And also, another typical example we are seeing around here is the fact that people are moving abroad. The jackpot syndrome is still there. So if you have like 100 customers in 2023 and 60% of them are travel to Canada, the UK, and all, and your product has to just deal with the third world or the emerging markets. Now they're in the UK and Canada, there's no need for you or your product anymore. So they're naturally going to churn. All right. Yes, they're naturally going to churn. So those are like reasons why customers churn on a normal day, right? So let's get back to what we are talking about. So yes, right now I want you to visualize where should all these core functions go on your journey map. Go on your journey map, okay? So that's what we are talking about. Where should they go naturally on your journey map? So let's move ahead. So customer's journey mapping is how you take them from one point to the other. How you take them from point A. Always have it at the back of your mind as well that there is point A. That's wherever the customers are right now, wherever they are. And your responsibility as a CSM is to carry them by hand or by head, anyhow you want to carry them to their destination. That's point B, right? That's their point B. So your point A can just be here where they are right now, and your journey is supposed to take them through this touch point, through this touch point, down to where they want to be here, down to where they want to be here. And in between here, you can have a variety of reasons, things, activities to be done. So we can have onboarding here, and depending on the organization or the industry, it can just be that you are having implementation, you're having training. So here there are a lot of activities that will be done to move them from point A to point B. So point A where they are to point B where they are going to, or to point next point. All right. So there can be various touch points and pain points at this stage for your customers. How do they feel from where they are to here? How should they feel? We're also going to talk about that. From point B, let's say this is retention. How do they move from being retained or adopting your product? Let's just assume now they did onboarding. They are now adopting to your product. I think I explained that earlier. Adopting to your product and then being retained and being advocates for you, and also maybe expanding and also having renewal, right? So we're going to talk about that briefly. Okay, so these are stages of customers journey map. Let me see. Okay, we'll get there, but let me quickly explain something before we move on. All right. So the stages of customer journey map, they are usual depending on your organization. It can be as many as possible, but the general known ones are the ones I listed, and I'll explain to you as soonest. All right. While I was talking to a group of people, I think last week, I explained why and how you can go about that. I'll briefly do that. I'll try and do that as much as possible. So the first stage is usually the awareness stage. That is where they discover that, oh, there's even a product that is called Gloria Michael, right? So this is not usually owned by customer success managers. But it's just for you to understand, depending on the organization again, if it's your responsibility, then fine. But then on a normal day, it's not supposed to be for customer success people. Then the second stage is consideration. That is when customers are researching about your product. They are checking, okay, who is this Gloria? What does she do? Is she reliable? Is she trustworthy? Is she credible? Is she consistent? Right? So that is where you check that. And also, you sometimes collaborate with the marketing team to put out the right content, right? Then we have the third stage, which is where the customer buys your product. That is for salespeople. That's their responsibility to make sure the sales pull through, right? That's for salespeople uh responsibility. And that is the goal is for customers to buy and pay, not just to pay money, to drop money, to drop cash. That's the goal. And the next stage is onboarding. I'm saying onboarding because some people skip it. Like here now, there's onboarding. There's onboarding. There's variety of things you can actually add. Is either you say onboarding or retention. But then let me go for onboarding. That is when the customer, depending on the product again, if you're working with SaaS, of course, you're going to do onboarding after purchase. So after purchase, customers are going to be onboarded. They're going to sign up on your platform. There'll be training and all that. So that is where you as a customer success, that's where your journey starts with the customer. So whenever you're drawing or mapping out your customer's journey, it should always start from onboarding, right? The others is your responsibility of the marketing and other team. But here, onboarding, that is where you shine through. That is where you show customers that you got them. That is where you welcome them. All right. That is where you welcome the customers. Then you can move on to adoption. If everything goes well, Some people will say is advocacy, others will say is adoption, right? Is anyone you say is okay, depending on how you want to go about it. Advocacy is after retention, right? Maybe customer have used your product for 1 year now, and now they're advocating for you. Advocating is just you customers talking about you online, talking about you to their friends and all that. They are all the goal of a CSM. All right. They are all our goal as CSM. Customer needs to rave about the amazing work you are doing, amazing work we are doing for them. All right. There are still other stages like value realization. The adoption I mentioned earlier, that is where the customers are using your product, not just, oh, you were able to onboard them. Are they using it? I get value, getting value. So this is where you drive usage and remove you as a system, remove any blocker that will stop them from getting value. If you are working with a bank and I want to have best of experience. After signing up on the app, you should be able to send money. You should be able to withdraw money. That is adoption. And also, you have to remove blockers as the CSM to ensure that customers are getting value. You can then move to value realization. That is when the customer sees the benefit. They see the benefit of your product. So you're going to be showing impact here. And also as a CSM, you need to track metrics. From the beginning at onboarding, what did you discuss in your welcome meeting or kickoff meeting? Right? That is going to show here. That's what you're going to track. Okay, now that is how you determine value realization. Let's say at the beginning they told you, oh, I want to be able to send $5 million or $100 million to the US, right? So you are going to now measure the impact. Were they able to do that? What was the experience like? All right. So that is what you will do there. And also some people add renewal, they add expansion. So that means at the stage where consumers say, oh, we're not just getting value or recommending people to your products, have made the decision to stay. So your own here as a customer success is to support their decision with proofs and relationship. I'm huge on relationship building. I'm huge on relationship building because it can make or marry you. It's not just about good product or good service offering, yeah, or good numbers like the fee. Your product can be affordable. If you're talking about why people are buying, it's not. I don't think people are buying because of affordability. That's what I believe. If you're talking about that, nobody will buy Apple products or iPhone, right? Because they're quite expensive. There are other cheaper options in the market, but why do people still buy? Yeah, people are buying other expensive cars and all. Why? So don't let it not be your price shouldn't be a yardstick, right? Like, oh, they are affordable that they should buy. Nobody cares about that. Yeah, they are the masses sometimes does, but then the deal is when the experience, the relationship, and everything ties together. All right. Okay, so I'm asking you right now, pick one stage and reflect in all these things I've said. What is the one stage? What is the one thing you could improve at this stage for your own customers? What is the one thing you can improve? Let's say you pick onboarding. What is the one thing? Is it that you want to start doing welcome email? You want to start doing checking in? You want to like create videos for them to be able to sign up seamlessly? Or what do you want to do? You need to pick that right now before we move to the next phase. Before we move to the next stage. All right. So the next thing I want to show you is how to map out customers' journey. I don't know if I have access to whiteboard here. Seems I have to. Okay, let me stop sharing first. Um, I need to stop sharing. Let me look for. Let me look for. I hope this thing is recording. Let me look for whiteboard. If I don't have a whiteboard, okay, there's a whiteboard. Let me see. I can see a whiteboard. I saw whiteboard earlier. No, just give me a moment. I'm going to find it. Okay, I'm trying to share. Okay, it's loading now. So once it's done, I'm trying to go. I'll try to see how we can talk about when you're mapping out your customer's journey, what you should do and how you should do that effectively. The problem most people will have is like now, and a normal person or people will just see the stages of the customer's journey. That is the end. That's not, if that is the end, what should I do? What else? Right? So that is why I'm going to show you another way. So let's try and see how it goes. All right, so customers journey map, if you want to map it out, what are the things you should do? So I'll tell you about the fundamentals. The fundamentals of customer. I'm going to be a bit too slow because um well, how can I be faster? How can I be faster? Okay. Yeah, I think I can use text. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's say this is the fundamental. How do I erase this? I pray you can see this. Yeah. Let's make this bold. The fundamentals of customer success, customer journey mapping. So the first thing is the customer experience stage. The customer experience stage. Let's say this is one, right? Let's say this is one. Two is the front stage. And I'll tell you how all this ties together. The front stage, right? Let's add the last two, the fundamentals of CSM or CJM, right? We have the backstage. And if you know this, it will help you. Okay, let me edit. And the last one in this is your systems and your processes. The four systems and processes. All right. Let's just bring that here. Now let's just leave it here. The backstage. I think this is enough. All right. So this is what we have. Hmm? Hope you understand it. Of the fundamental of CJM is this. So under this customer experience stage, under here, we are going to have, if you are talking about the customer experience stage, what is inclusive, right? So we are going to have the customer life cycle, think the life cycle they are supposed to be together. Right? And we also have at this stage situations, activities, needs. Okay, let's just go one after the other. This way, you're going to create a very robust. These are the things that are needed for you to. I think this is faster instead of me. The emotions of the customers. What should they feel? Emotions of the customers. So this is also the experience under experience. I think I should increase this a bit. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's better. Then we have the needs of the customer. What needs to be done? Because if you do one and you don't do the other, oh, I forgot to mention at every stage on your of your this. So in customer journey mapping, everything is about your customers. Every single thing you do is about your customers. So you need to get into your customer's brain. Get into your customer's brain at every point in time. You need to get there to get the best result. Do you understand? So let's move ahead. So this customer life cycle stage, right? That is where we have awareness. Remember what I said earlier. Awareness stage. Then we have what again? Remind me. We have consideration stage. Then what else do we have? We have purchase. I want since we are customer success, I don't want to include this, but then let's include this. That is not where our journey starts as CSMs. Purchase. Oh, purchase. What else do we have? For us as CSM, let's add onboarding. And that is why it's so important to know your product and where you are in or at. I want to align them. Okay. Then we have what else should we have? Retention. We have all those things. Retention. Let me write it, retention. So it's going to all be, and that's why it's a whiteboard. So I can be able to do this. That's why I choose the retention, adoption. There's a lot of shun going on. No, I didn't choose this now. Clean. I need to remove this. Uh, retention, adoption. Actually, I usually will have my adoption before I have my adoption before retention because you have to adopt the person. The person has to enjoy your product first before, and also you can say your value realization is when you use your retention, right? Let's say we now have renewal. Oh God, forgive me. This is a bit slower than I thought. So we have adoption, we have, let's add the sixth one, renewal. Or what did I say? We have renewal or expansion, depending on what you call it. Expansion. So let's put it, yes. So do you see now the customer life cycle stage? That is where we have awareness, consideration, purchase. I just want it to align, don't mind me, right? So we are trying to construct our customer journey map. Here, you can either make it like this or it can just be drawing or diagrams, right? Okay, let's go ahead. And like I said earlier, if you can see this, awareness and consider from awareness stage down to here, you do not have have you do not have any problem. You do not have anything to do with that. Your own journey starts from with the customer from onboarding down to renewal. All right. So if you know it that way, you now know what to do. Let's move further into developing our customer's journey map. So the next thing you have to do is, like I said, situation. What needs to happen? What do they need to do to ensure what a customer needs to do at every stage? The customer will probably have to use their phone or sit on IG. When you're creating awareness, how do they see? All right. So if you know your customer profile already, your ideal customers, you already know where some IG, FB, what else? TikTok, etc. Websites and all that. So it's not really a problem. Let's just put it there. Situation. Situation can be you now running ads. All right. You running ads or promotions. Let's say promotions. Right. So running ads on Google and all that. So that should be here. So those are the activities you need to do and what situation. There maybe they are scrolling on their TikTok and like, wow, this is your product. Consideration, you also need to do a bit more, being consistent with your messaging and all. So I won't bother with these two things. This one is sales. What do they need to do? They need to make sure that the the payment links are working, the call to actions are working superb, right? So for onboarding now, that's where is our concern. What are the situations that needs to happen? If you are working with a fintech, then the customer needs to sign up. Sign up. Oh, excuse me. Customer needs to sign up. Or if they don't sign up, there's no way you'll be able to interact with them. They need to download you not even sign up, it's actually download your app first. Let me just write download your app. Download your app. Download your app. What else do you need to do? The activities the customers need to do. What customers need to do, they need to download or they need to come to your website for onboarding, or you need to send them This one is for the customer. So let's just put it under here. You can reduce it, sure, so that it will. So under retention, what do they need to do? They need to have used. So let's say product usage. So under this product usage, I'll probably say something like uh get value 2 times, right? So if somebody has used your product twice, that means they've retained, either you've retained them. Excuse me, I like putting adoption before retention. It's always better for me. It just like makes sense. Okay, so this is what a customer needs to do. Get value twice. That very value mean customer should probably be able to withdraw from your account. If somebody has withdrawn from your account, come to you 2 times, that means they are already enjoying your product now, right? So that's what a customer needs to do. Under retention, you can now like make it 3 times, make customer withdraw 3 times, right? And like that, renewal, maybe they have been with you for 1 year. So when a customer has been with you for 1 year, you already know they are going to be. So here now for retention, if customer has been with you for 5 months, that means they are retained. The next conversation you'll be having now is renewal, right? Do you understand? Okay. So under emotions, so we know we are starting from. Let's do it again. So we are starting our own from. This is us. I'm trying to align it. So let's write. Okay, so this is what we're having. Right, so from here down is our problem. Here is the for the marketing and sales. So we're now under emotions. What emotion should they feel at this stage? So you don't want them to feel lost here. Instead of feeling lost, they'll be feeling eager. Customers are because they want to get something. Sorry. They are eager. So this emotion is eager to get value because no customer is always on on your platform because they want to do onboarding. No, they are going somewhere. So every customer should be eager at every stage, not confused, not helpless, right? Because they have all the resources. So you can also put confused. So if at the right now, look at your pipeline. How if they are confused, you're going to do FAQs. Confused. If they are eager, that means you have a proper roadmap for them to. So just look at your own right now holistically and make sure you put genuine customers' feelings, right? Genuine, that will help you to like know what to do. If my customers are confused at onboarding, then I'm going to do FAQs, I'm going to do videos, guided videos. I'm going to have a robust knowledge base that will help them adapt and get excited. All right. At adoption, customers naturally should feel excited because they are closer. They should naturally feel excited. But if they start feeling helpless and confused again, that means you need to come in and do something, maybe some form of training, guidance to make sure they are getting value, right? Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Let me know if you're getting it. Let me know if you're getting it. I know this is taking a bit of time because I have to be writing, all right? And the thing about this, you don't have to do it one day. You can just start small, just make it organic, and it should be a living document. Like now, I just did this. I can on a normal day, I'll just leave it like, okay, this is enough for today. Tomorrow I'll come and add more. And once you're done, like there's no done. Like I'm done, I will never do anything again. You are always going to evolve. And that is why I said our space is very interesting. You don't just like, oh, my customers are getting enough value. No, once they get used to that, they will move. Excuse me. Once your customer get used to that, and they will just like, oh, this one, nothing new. So you have to keep evolving and giving them the best of service. All right. Are you getting that? Do you get the scope? So the natural feeling should be excited. But if they are helpless, confused, or not knowing what to do, then you need to work on this adoption part. And what I'm telling you is look at your pipeline right now. Look at your customer now that you are mapping it out. So as I'm trying to map this out, I'm thinking, okay, what is the customer's feeling? What are they feeling right now? Are they confused? Are they lacking trust? If customers are not trusting you at the adoption stage, then you need to put out encouraging content. By encouraging, I don't mean you dancing and doing motivational speech. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to talk about your products more online. They need to see you more. Your customers need to know that you're there, that other people trust you. You need to put out your testimonial that, oh, people are paying. Like for me, I had to just put out a payment someone made, I think, few days ago, right? Just like, oh, people are actually paying. It rebuilds people's trust, right? So you should do the same. Also, put out the use cases. And yes, you need to put all that out, case studies and who you are helped, who you have helped, how you're helping them. And at the recession stage, they should be happy, right? That you are solving their problem. They should be excited. But if they are feeling also confused, they don't know, they are irritated, they are angry, then you have work to do. How many customers in the past 1 week have told you that they are angry? If they are angry, make sure you work on that. So at this rate, because they are getting value, they should be happy. That's the natural feeling. But if they are feeling helpless, am I right? Helpless, angry, they are feeling like you scam them like MMM. That is the feeling that you need to work on this. You need to work on this, right? And also, then you can do for renewal and expansion. They should also be happy and excited and elated that, oh, this guy is removing this or this burden from me. We are getting value. We are hitting our numbers, right? So you can also do that for expansion, right? Do you understand up to this stage? Like what I'm doing right here, I'm going to do it down, right? That's how you build your customer journey mapping. So at every point in time, and also I think I should add another layer. I'll add another layer. Give me a moment. So the needs, what do customers need to do at every stage? And the thing about customer success that is beautiful is as you are knowing their needs, you now be able to streamline and reduce it. Do you get? Now, if you lay it all out like this visually or visually, yes, pardon my English. If you lay it out like that, you are now able to like look at it logically and you be able to decide. So let's see their needs. What do they need? Customer need to do at the onboarding stage. They need to, of course, they've downloaded the app. They need to verify their account. So for your product, it can be different. Verify using what? Okay, let me ID, BVN, NIN, kini. So all the things they need to do, lay it all out. That will help you. Yes. Lay it all out. Lay it all out. That will help you like, oh, this thing is too cumbersome. Let me just reduce the verification. What will customer do to have say they have a seamless onboarding? They need to verify the account. And if so, if they need to do all this, why not reduce it to just one? All right, that will help you increase or reduce your time to value. For you to win as a CSM, your time to value has to be reduced to minimum. That is a metric you should measure as well. So the time they need to onboard, sign up, and verify the account should not be less than 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20, 1 hour, 24 hours, right? All things being equal. So the next one is at the adoption stage, what do customers need to do again? They need to transact, make payments, deposit, withdraw. And please remember, I said it should be based on your own withdrawal course, based on your own experience. So, like this, we are already building customer journey map. You get. You can use the paper to do it, anything really. All right. So this is what you do. There's something I was saying earlier. Okay, yes. And also, here you can, if there's, let me see. You can also come here and say, oh, who should own it? Who should own it at every stage? The awareness, you can say, is marketing. So everybody know what to do, where to go, what to do, and all. Nobody is waiting for, okay? This is marketing. This is consideration, should also be marketing as well. Consider, will be marketing. Pardon me. Then purchase should be sales. Yeah, they are the ones to close the deal. So you bring it here, and onboarding. Yes, if you are a thorough person, instead of just writing CS, you now break it down. Which of the CS member should do it? Do you get what I mean? So for me, whenever I join a team or whenever I'm heading a team, I try to decentralize responsibilities, right? So, and at this, okay, let me not confuse you. So CS, okay, who should do it? Is it uh the mid-level CS, maybe the one that is excuse me, we have, the CS department is, that's what I wrote. But then you can break it down to customer success associate, customer success representative. So, there's those that are doing support, those that are doing onboarding, who is in charge of that. So you can internally break it down again instead of just writing CS. That is too broad. It can just still be lost. Right? Imagine me as a CSM, I'm waiting for you as the CS, customer success associate to get it done, right? But if it's detailed that, oh, this person is supposed to do this, that person is supposed to do that, then you're good to go. Nobody is going to be confused. Like that, you can do for the rest, adoption, CS, then, well, who is supposed to be in charge of that? What should the customer do? So this is how to map it out. All right. Adoption, let's see, is still CS. Adoption can actually be done by, and this adoption can also involve, somebody that is doing FAQ, somebody that is doing support. So let's say CS rep is doing a CS rep. That's what I mean. This thing is taking longer than I anticipated, but it's good. Then retention, renewal, same thing. Of course, it's owned by customer success managers, but who on the team should handle it? That's what we are saying. So you cannot say the associate should do it. If you are, of course, that is if you have the opportunity to have a larger team, right? But if you're the only customer success, then you should just like have this in a like develop them. So you already have your your scripts, right? You have your script already. Instead of waiting to have customer before you start running around not knowing what to do, you can just be the head, or renewal can be the head. Then, and also you can add. So that's when we come to, there's another layer. Let's go to front. Let's go to, okay, yes. Oh my God. Okay, so this is what we have. This is like our skeletal view of what we are doing. So the front stage is what the customer is seeing, right? What is the customer saying for this customer life? For this, what is it called? Let's come to awareness. What is customer saying? This is like the skeletal view. What front stage? What should the customer saying? They are seeing website. They are seeing UI UX of your app. They are seeing that. So that is what you should write here. Consideration and all that. So when it comes to onboarding, this second stage, you are going to have emails. You're going to be having emails. You're going to be having what is the other called? The guided videos. They're seeing emails, they're seeing videos. Those are like the hardware they say. That's what you're going to be putting here. Here, you're going to be putting support. You're going to be putting all that here. So what should they be saying at the backstage, the front stage? All right. Did you get? And then we have the backstage. The back, okay, let me just write for the front stage. Let me write something. Oops. Okay, let me go back. For the front stage, let's say you're going to see emails. That's your onboarding. You're going to, of course, you're going to receive email, what's called the email. What do they need to see? What else do they need to see? They need to see, uh, they need to see the CSM. So that's going to be here. So that's going to be your onboarding. That's the front stage. What are they going to be seeing? Okay, here. Then here, of course, they're going to be seeing support. They're going to be seeing you as a CSM, right? Then the backstage, what needs to be going on in your own end? If you are doing onboarding, what are the things you need to do? The backstage, you are doing work, you are sending welcoming email for your onboarding. Welcoming email, sorry, welcoming email. You're going to have kick off email. You're going to have guided videos, GV, guided videos, and all sorts. That is for your onboarding. So at every stage, you're going to map out what should be there. Don't leave it to chances. Don't, that's your onboarding. Then you now come to adoption. What should be done? You need to have support. What should be happening at the backstage? In case customer is stuck, you're going to have support videos. You're going to have live support. You're going to have bots to support the customers. All right. And when it comes to retention, you are going to be having what is it called, check-ins or renewal as well. You can also have at different stages, have to form a way of engagement for the customers. There's a way you have to engage with the customers, different form of engagement. At what point for you, maybe after adoption to renewal, no, to retention, you need to have EMA sessions. You need to have webinars to educate them more on your product. That way they will now have more understanding to have to make decisions. You get? Yes. So that is the backstage. What are the CS team doing at the backstage? What are they doing at the backstage? That is the backstage level. So you need to know this. When the US escalations, you need to know where to put them. So when you have during adoption, you have support, you have escalations there. Those are the things you need to do. And you can even go ahead and have the script, different scripts for welcoming customers, kickoff emails, and all those things there. Do you get? And the last but not the least on here is systems and processes. For marketing, what system needs to be in place? Then we need to have a script writer writing script that will go out, video editor guys, they need to like do animations and all, and like that, like that. If it's customer success, what system and processes needs to be in place? We need to have what is it called now? We need to have our CRM tools. Let me write that. CR, oh, Holy Spirit, help me. We need to have, as the backstage, we need to have CRM tools, right? We need to have that. We need to have the processes. Let's say somebody was trying to verify or even sign up, they are not able to. We need to have escalation processes in place, right? We need to also have our success plan, right? So those are the things that will be at the onboarding stage. And one thing, the question you need to be asking yourself as a CSM, if this doesn't happen or if this happens, what should happen? Hmm? Okay, so this is what you are supposed to have here. Like now, we are already mapping out our customer journey. This is already customer journey map. And you don't have to do it one day. I don't just want us to like take the whole day to like do it else. We can just go ahead and fill this up, right? At the adoption, what are the internal process? What are the things that need to be done? What are the systems that are in place, right? For you now, within the internal team, you should have your own SOPs at the onboarding. So anybody that is coming in, they know what to do already. There's a system in place. Do you understand? And one thing again, I would say at this point is your customer journey map should also be based on research and like I said earlier, it should be customer centric. It should start small. It should be organic and living. Living, I explained it earlier. It's not something you just do and like nobody, like it will be an alpha and omega. Nothing is going to make you change it. No. If I see that, oh, we don't need this email address or CSM, I'm going to erase it and put what is supposed to be there. So it's supposed to be improved upon every single time and should be based on research on your customers, not what you feel, not your gut feeling, not assumptions. Let it be based on your real customers, right? Your real dig into the mind of your customers and get it done. Do you understand? Do you understand? I hope you get this. And always be asking yourself question, where could we improve on? That's the question that your journey map should be answering. Okay, now we've laid it out from A to Z. Where should we improve upon? What should we reduce? Your time to value, is it high? Should we include bring it from 24 hours to 1 hour? How do we do that? Those are the questions for you to ask as an exceptional customer success manager. Do you understand? If you have any question about this class, please do well to ask me either via LinkedIn, or IG. I'm always, I think I try to be, responsive on those platforms though. Okay, so do you understand? So this is what your map should look like. It should be a visual representation from, you're looking at it from your customer's lenses, not you, because if they leave it for you, go just write one small thing. But you have to detail the experience of the customers, what they need to do, how it needs to be done, how to make everything should just be the welcome email, everything should be about your customer. That way you will try to remove barriers. Yeah, try to remove barriers. So as you are developing yours, it's not just for you to just develop a CMJ, right? It's for you to remove and eliminate barriers for your customers, and also be able to optimize all touch points, optimize all points of contact, all points of contact. Like this onboarding now, you need to interface, optimize it so that it will just be one, instead of taking the whole day, you're taking 100 hours. Instead of you doing email, welcoming email, then you're doing kickoff, then you're doing kickoff email. Those are just cumbersome already. Reduce it to one, optimize it to make it functional. All right. Eliminate what is not working. Eliminate every barrier. If they're using BVN, NIN, that's already too much. Make sure it's just one process. If there are 5 steps to get this, why not make it 2? What's stopping you from making it 3? Right? If it's just tiny thing you can do for your customers, make sure you are doing it. And also, so that is basically how to do it. You can just go ahead and fill the other part up. I just want to mention one thing before we cover for this. And from here, for this backstage that I mentioned earlier, we call it below the line of viability. So everything that is here is usually your response. The customer is not seeing it, but if you do it well, it will have impact on the experience of the customer. So some people will just like go and try to do the front stage and the other stage very well, but you need to make sure this one's what is your own responsibility, the system and processes you have in place. All right, the processes and the system you have in place that way, and at these processes, so you can now have, oh, Lagbaja is doing A, Tinuke is doing B, and all, so that it will be easy, seamless, and straightforward. All right, so that is basically it. That is basically, so I'll close this now and let's get back to our slide. Let's get back to, let me see the last thing before we close this. This is, I wasn't expecting it to be this long, but so do you see how your core responsibility as a CSM, we spread it out on a plain paper or on a plain surface, nothing hidden. So if you look at it from that angle, you know the processes, the strategies, the everything tactical and both strategic to do to make sure your customers are getting the best. Do you agree with me? From what we just spread from A to Z of your customer, your journey map covers that already. So this is what I was trying to explain earlier. So these are the various, the physical touch point, the digital touch point, depend on how you want to spread it. Okay. Depend on how you want to spread it. The emails, these are the things you should do. Like I said, from here to here, these 3 does not concern us as CSMs. This is where our work starts from the onboarding. All right. So you have call center, you have chatbots, offer invoices, you have send retention. That is, you have emails. We need to do QBRs. You need to do EBR. You need to check in with your champion. That is how to do it. And here again, you can see at what point do you do survey. NPS score, you can do that as your own survey. You can do have another form of feedback using Typeform or any other one. Email, when do you send email? And it doesn't, because, and one thing it shouldn't, because it's appearing here doesn't mean it shouldn't appear here. If there is need for it, make it happen. Are you building a community, social media platforms, and all those things, web services? And where are they finding you? Right? Where are they finding you? Where should they look for you? Where are they seeing you? How do you make sure the payment is seamless? Payment is seamless. So instead of using your bank account, you put Paystack here to make it seamless. And here this is where you do your marketing. So this is what I was talking about that time. How are they going to find you? The backstage, what needs to happen, right? where are the need, where do they need to find you, and all those things. So you need to make sure that the hardwares, the PR, the radio jingles, word of mouth, like that. And this is the customer success focused journey map, right? The other one we saw, there was no implementation, there was no onboarding, there was no expansion. So you can't say, don't put yourself in the box or say, oh, this is the standard. You can use different names. All they want to see is that there is a before, there is a during, and there is a after. Just have that at the back of your mind for your customer journey map. It should include before the customer join your product, after, during, while they are with you, and then the after their business with you, are they going to renew? So this is showing that this is before they join you. This is during they are with you. And here, are they going to renew and come back? Right? This is where you now start hosting for them to come back. So that is what you should have at the back of your mind. Make sure that there is before, during, and your after for every customer. There's when, oh, they never even knew that you existed. Till, oh, now they are your party. That means they're with you already. And now that they want to churn, or they've gotten value and they want to go, what other activities should you do? All right. So for a customer, if you are working with the SaaS, of course, there should be an implementation there where you go live, the engineer, and who should own it. This is what I was trying to explain earlier. Who should own it at every stage? So if it's implementation, is usually owned by the engineering team, while this customer success team just monitor things, support, just like be there and know what's up, right? But majorly it's engineers, why support customer success just monitor, because we own every interaction from here. And your onboarding is usually owned by customer success, depending on the organization. Again, that is where you do training, you do what is it called now? You check in, welcome email, welcome kickoff, and all that. That is where you do that. Okay. And when it's now expansion, of course, customer success is going to do that because their goal from the beginning. Now you just make sure you leverage that to like sell to them. And by sell, I don't mean actively sell, but then suggest and just help them make best decision and get the best value. And of course, you have renewal, adoption, advocacy, loyalty. It can just be called any name. All right. Then it's also owned by you guys. You have built relationship. You're now leveraging on that for them to come back again to do business with you. Hope that is clear. And I can increase this further. I didn't talk about touch points. In customer success, we have touch points, and you probably have that. We have pain points, we have touch points, we have so your service delivery. What I just described from onboarding down to what is it called? To renewal. Those are the ways in which we make impacts. I think there was a question they asked last week. I can't remember how it is the exact. But what they want to know is if a customer joined your product, or if a customer just hear about your product or just bought your package, what are the sequence of action? What are the things that need to happen for them to get value? So I will expect you to start describing like, okay, so once a customer make purchase or buy from us, the first thing we do is to onboard them to our platform, or like sending them a welcoming email to make them feel welcome, make them feel relaxed, make them trust us. Then we'll go ahead to train them on how to use our product to be able to get maximum value from there. And after that, we'll try to work with them to adopt it, to guide them, demo, guide them to be able to get their first value from the product. So you're already describing your service delivery. And so if you understand that service delivery, if there's a breakage, you know where to fix it. Do you understand? So a new customer that is coming, where do they start their journey from? That is your own onboarding. Where do they end? Loyalty. So at the end of the day, every customer should be able to like brag about you, write about you, and all on their social media, tell their friends about you. Right. So that is the service delivery. Any question they're going to ask you in customer success revolves around this. So, and they can also go ahead and ask you that, okay, what metrics do you use to understand that a successful onboarding has happened? If a successful onboarding happened, then the time to value should be reduced. Customer should be able to get value within 24 hours, within 5 minutes. If it's a bank or a fintech, they should be able to get value within 5 minutes of of joining your product or signing up, right? Yes. Then you go on to explain the retention, what's it called now? Retention metrics. How do you know you have retained a customer? If customer has been transacting, let's say, depending on your product still, maybe they have made 10 transactions since they join your product, then they are retained. If they are not retained, they'll probably leave, let's say, the first month, but they have with you 5 months, that is retention. Then you are seeing the volume the customer lifetime value is robust, then that's a good one. Then you are looking at also when you conducted NPS, when you check their NPS score, it was fantastic. When you also check their CSAT, customer satisfaction score, they gave you excellent, then you know that they are retained. And that is when you start talking about expansion, start talking about upsell, start talking about cross-sell. Do you understand? And at every stage, we have metrics. All right. So I was trying to explain this. So these are also the touch points. Touch points, very important. What are touch points again? Give me definition. You define your own touch point, right? Where you interface with customers and customer interface with you majorly. All right. So the first interaction with your customer will probably start at the kickoff email. As a CSM, that's the first thing you have interaction with your customers. Then you move to kickoff meeting. Now where you're meeting with them. That's your initial. I defined it here. When you are watching this, try to zoom it. Or do you want me? Okay, so this is initial meeting with the new customer account to align goals and understand their outcomes. Then you move on to demo and training. If you're working with a fintech, I already assume you have training and guide videos for like ready. So once you do your welcome email, the next email they are going to have is the demos. That is to show your product to new customers how to use them, how to familiarize themselves with it, how to get value quickly, right? Then if you're working with the SaaS, then it will be integration. That is setting up your products into their own system, into their API, their website, so that they can use seamlessly. Then your engineering team will work on it and make sure it goes live. Products launch to enable the customer utilize your product. You get. So at some point after this, after everything is set up, like okay, you go in and like okay, check what is going on. Are they getting value? Do they have enough knowledge to run with what they are learning? Are they able to meet their target? You just checking to see what's up. All right, to see their progress and their usage. Then you can just have a performance review to see their product adoption. All right. So they signed up 5 or 10 people. Now it's been a month. How many people are using it seamlessly? How many people log in every day? Right. So that will help you guide you on what to do. After that, if they need from that review, just at every stage is giving you insight. Every stage gives you insight on what to do. So like now that you are seeing, you have done performance review and you saw that, oh no, they're not really using it the way they should. You are now going to schedule further training for them. So that training will now help them, guide them to understand better. Then once you do that, you can now have EBR after some months, depending on your product, you can have EBR, QBR, and all to just show data, show workings. Do you understand? And of course, at every stage, we have various people owning it, the engineering team, the customer success manager, and you. I want you to go further. If you have 5, 10 people on your team, divide it, who should own what, so that everybody knows where they should function. And with time, they can rotate. Maybe this month, the CSM one will do onboarding or kickoff and all. Right? Do you get the drift? Absolutely. So that is what it's all about. And you can just also, I did this tracker for a student or for one of my mentees during it was requested from her during her interview. So yeah, all right. So I think that is where we will stop for today. And of course, this is you can talk to people about my product. I have this starter kits now, customer success. If you know anyone that wants to transition to customer success, but they're not sure if it's for them, this package is for them. But it just walks them through what it entails to be a CSM and let them just um gauge their skills and how if and just check if to see if it's for them majorly. And of course, I have my online course. There's the first of its kind, helping people to transition. If you've been in a customer facing role, banking, customer service, teaching, sales, and you want to now pivot to customer success, this is exactly what you need. And I have three different packages for you. If you want the basic one, you just have access to the course material. It's 50K, and I think there's still 48% off right now. There's a standard package, of course, where you join a live class, you have be able to ask questions, you have materials and many things that will help you guide you transition smoothly. And the last one is the premium package, of course. It includes the course. We're going to have one-on-one session or coaching session. We're going to review your CV, review and also probably have a certificate. All right. So that's you can just tell people about it. And also, if you are watching this up to this stage and you want to make more money, there's a referral I have for my courses and my materials. You're able to do one person, two people, three people, you're going to get a percentage. And the deal is really good. So if you're interested in making extra cash, you should join. Thank you so much. Connect with me on IG, on LinkedIn, and also on TikTok. Have a wonderful day. If you have any question, like I said earlier, please do not hesitate to ask your questions. Do not hesitate to ask your questions at all. So that is all I have for you today. Hope this has been helpful. I want you to write about this on LinkedIn, what you understand by customer journey mapping, what you understand by the touch points, everything we have talked about today. Talk about it, and that's how you get better. All right. So I'm asking you right now, do you know what your customer need at every stage, at each stage of their life cycle? What do they need? Are your teams aligned around those needs? What are your customers' needs? Are they aligned around those needs? And the last question I ask, what one stage can you improve this week? Always, like I said, it's a living document. It's not a dead one. You can always improve upon it. It can be onboarding, it can be retention, it can just be anything. So if I were you, grab a piece of paper right now, sketch out 4 basic stages of your customer journey right now. Don't overthink it. Just write what they do, how they feel, and maybe what they need at each stage. What do they need you to do? Do they need your videos? Do they need your anything? Even these videos, of course, I'm going to keep improving it to be better. All right. If you want to drive true customer success, don't guess, just map it out. Because when customers feel guided, when they feel supported and understood, they stay and grow with the organization. Thank you so much for watching to this stage and have an amazing day. Bye bye. My name is Gloria Michael. Enjoy.